Hello everybody, it's Patty here with Patty Stitches. Today is February the 23rd, 2026, and this is episode 339. And on today's show I have FFOs, I have whips, I have haul, and I have some change in some of the plans. So sit back, relax, grab your beverage of choice, water for me, your craft of choice, and let's chat. So how was everybody's week? Mine was really good. It snowed again, and it is snowing at this minute as we speak. I looked and found that we have had 74 inches of snow as of, I believe, sometime last week. And we're in the middle of another snowstorm with a possibility of, I think they said 15 to 18 inches, but we'll have to wait and see. Our normal for this time of the year is 50 inches of snow. So we are way above what our normal usually is. So this has been quite an interesting winter. And after the snowstorm leaves and the clouds leave, we're getting back down into the negative 30 degrees. So yeah, for a couple of days. It'll be cold at night and then warm up to the negative teens during the day. So yeah, this has not been fun. I'm really glad I missed the 42 days, I think it was. Yeah, I'm glad I missed that section. No, I didn't miss the 42 days. I missed a lot of the cold, but now we're getting it again. So really makes me want to move down south. It really does. But yeah, weather's not going to chase me off just yet. So Friday, I didn't go knitting. Sunday, the littles didn't come over. So it's been quiet last week. So I got a lot of projects that I worked on, but not a lot of stitching on those projects. I'm really hoping my stitching bug comes back after this Olympic is done, which is now that stitching is done. I have found that having a schedule at the beginning of the month and filling it in and sticking to that schedule doesn't work for me. And I should have known that. But I did have fun working on these projects, but I would have rather pulled them myself. So anyway, shall we get on with the stitching? I think so. Okay, so I was stitching the Stitch the Winter Olympics by the Nap Time Stitcher. I want to say thank you to her for doing this. This was really great. You can find her on Instagram and on Facebook. So I did complete it. I did do all the prompts, which I'm very, very happy about. So I will show you as we go along what those prompts were and how I fulfilled those prompts. So we are going to be starting with the 16th of February, which is Nordic Combination, Stitch Something that is part of a series. So I pulled out Santa's Village, and I am working on Santa's house right now. Or Santa's house, yeah, Santa's Village, and I'm working on Santa's house. I got a lot accomplished on Santa's house. I got all the green done. So actually everything up here is done. So I am going to be working on the bottom border the next time I work on this. So, which is that bottom there. And that's where I'm at. I will do the eyes and things at the very end. Decide if I know I have some really small seed beads, or do a French knot. So we'll see what it gets there, but that's where I'm at. I am stitching this on, let me find that. Is it? Yeah. 32 count platinum Lugana by Zweigart. With the called for floss, except for the borders, I am changing that up. So that's where I'm at. Super, super exciting. Okay, so then the next one was Olympic Village. Stitch something with a house or a building. So I pulled out oh, no, that's not the right one. There it is. Sorry about that. I'm one ahead. Okay, Monster House by Satsuma Street. So cool. Okay, and this one is being stitched on 28 count raw linen, and I believe this is another Zweigart. And I am using a combination of the called for and the Pirate Robin floss. So I was able to get all the white done on the moon, and I just started filling in the yellow. So that's where I'm at on this one. So like I said, I stitched on a lot of projects. I just didn't do a lot of stitching on those projects. I went a little bit crazy. Yeah. Okay. And then project that I want to stay on target with was little acorns, which I'll pull that out of there. Okay. And I did work on this twice. I worked on this on the 18th and the 20th because the 20th was something I wanted to stay on track with. So, this is the Sal by Modern Folk Embroidery, which I am using Silks for You, 2 different colors, a black and a red. And I am stitching this on 36 count Winter Brew by R&R. Okay, let's just set that here. I'm so... got so many things around me. Okay. I did this flower. I filled in some of this, and I did this whole thing. I am not going to finish February before March. So my plans are, I have this for one more day this month. So on Friday, I'll be working on it. And in March, I'll drop down, do as much of the March as I can, and if I finish March, then I'll go back up into February and finish February. So if there's a month where I can finish it and I still have a spot I need to work on, I'll go ahead and work on that. But that is where I'm at. That black really does pop on here with the red. I'm so happy that that's going to look really cool, I think, when this is all set and done. So... okie dokie. So in between, on the 19th, it was figure skating, stitch something with letters or numbers. So I picked out Quaker Gone Haunted. I changed all of my stitching up. I was having a good time. So this is by Michelle Inc. Needleworks, and I'm stitching this on a 36 count Bramble by Picture This Plus using the called for floss. And I did a lot on this one actually. I got the rose, I did this section and that section, and I finished up this little motif. So I did a lot in that one color. I was very happy. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun to stitch on this. I enjoyed it because it was something completely different that I haven't been stitching in a while. So that was a lot of fun. And I think that's part of it, is like, ooh, I want to stitch on that. Ooh, that sounds so much fun. I'm so tired of stitching on these 5 projects that I've been stitching on for the last 2 months. Okay, so we're back now to 21st. And that's a metal ceremony, and this one was flowers or floral motifs. So I picked out Jane Hopkins. Where is she? Here. Oh, here she is. Jane Hopkins, 1875 by Hands Across the Sea. I am using the called for floss. called Flosstube. Very nice. And I am stitching this on. Where's the piece of paper that I say that on? It's buried in the bottom of this somewhere. Here it is. I am stitching this on 36 count Legacy Edinburgh linen by Picture This Plus. And there was a little bit I needed to work on here, so I did that. There's still just 2 stitches to do, and I finished working on the pot. So I'm going to keep this in the frame because I do want to stitch on this at least once a month and get some really good work done on it. But it's so pretty. I just love this project. It's so pretty and fun, and I can't wait. It's going to take me a couple of years, but I can't wait to finish it. Especially getting into the middle section with the big flower. And the flower pot is very pretty. I mean, look at that flower pot. It's just so pretty. I kind of wish now I had just done the flower pot and not the rest of this. I think that would have been beautiful and fun. And now I can realize that I can do that. I'm going to start just stitching on pieces of projects that I want to. So, closing ceremonies on the 22nd. And that was something you hoping to finish in 2026. And that is October 31 by Rivaris. Here it is. I am really hoping I can finish this project. I am using a couple of different colors. I'm using black and a orange and a petite treasure braid. So these are the colors I'm using, and I am stitching this on 32 count Vapors by Atomic Ranch. And I got the October finished, and I put in a sparkly spider. Oh yeah, you can kind of tell that sparkles. I finished the U and started the T. So that's where I am at. It was so much fun to work on, especially doing the spider. The spider was great. Getting something different going. Okay, so that was Sunday. I have also been working on Gamer. Let me see if I can find her picture. There she is, Gamer. So I'm going to take Gamer out of this because Gamer is going to be put aside for a little while. So Gamer is art by Medusa Dollmaker, charted by Gecko Rouge. Stitching this one on 25 count, easy guide, 1/1 full cross. I just got floss stuck here. Just a second here. Almost done. So Gamer, I just haven't been able to get into the groove with. I've tried and tried and tried since I've been back, and I've hardly stitched on her when my stitching sessions happen. So here's where I am on Gamer. She's beautiful. I'm really loving her, and I really do want her done. And there's only one more page on here, and then I'll be at the edge. So I really do want to get her done. But for now, I think January burnt me out working just on this and on Little Acorns, and it was mostly just this. So she's getting put away. And her replacement is going to be 2 different things. I have decided to pull out Once Upon a Fairy Tale, which I've been calling fantasy or fairy tale bookshelf, but it's not. This is artwork by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth. And this one is also being stitched on a 25 count easy guide. And I am using this and then no, I'm using the next one on my on my Thread Walker saga. So I'll talk about that for a second. So I did get quite a bit done on this. I think I got almost 1,000 stitches done on this last week. So I'm very, very happy that this is plugging along. This one is going to be interspersed, and it probably, I do have it listed for a couple of months for a weekend, for one weekend a month. So that's what's going to happen. And it's also scheduled to be stitched today. So after I'm done with this video, I will be working on it. So you'll see it next week. But yeah, I want to get some good work done on this. But the last project is the one that is going to be my weekend and my nightly stitching, because I picked this up and just really, really wanted to work on it. So I have been, and I have gotten quite a bit finished. Let's see, I have to take it out on one side here. And this is Saga. It's in here. Yeah, Saga, and this is by Long Dog Sampler. I'm stitching this on 32 count vintage Stormy Night Lugana, using 3 different colors from Silks for You. And I am way up here in the corner. So I will be using this project with my thread walker. I am in the 600 stitches, so I have to do 600 stitches to advance my character every time I want to advance my character. So I finished this section. I did this drop down, and I did all of this since the last time you saw it. And I'm loving it. I'm loving the lights. They are very, very similar. In some ways, I wish I had made myself like the white that I bought, but I almost think the white would have been too much. But I'm okay. This is not bright yellow, and it's not dark tan. It's more of a golden, it's not a golden color either. It's more of a tan color, not a golden color, but I'm really liking how it's turning out. In fact, last night, after I did a little bit of that stitching, I worked on this. I got a lot accomplished last night. I had a really good time just stitching away. So very, very, very happy with this. So you will be seeing Saga for a while. And I think what's going to happen is when I get kind of burnt out with Saga, I will move Gamer back in. Or maybe, I don't know. I don't know. But I really enjoyed working on this last night. So, and this last week, I've really enjoyed it. Oh, got so many things hanging on here. Come on, let go. So, that was all of my stitching for the week. Like I said, I stitched on a lot of things. I just didn't get a lot accomplished on those things. So, yeah, Threadwalker Saga, I did end the 500 row. I defeated the monster with 1 roll. I didn't even have to stitch anything extra, which was very nice. I haven't had it since the very first one. I haven't had that happen again. So, that was cool. Do I have that paperwork? Yes, I do. So, in the 500 series, I ended up stitching 5,200 stitches. So, very, very cool. I like keeping track of each section to tell me how many stitches I worked to get through that. So, I'll kind of just show you right now. This is where I'm at. I have to stitch 550 stitches instead of the 600 because I defeated the new start. So, I rolled it even, and I defeated it and was able to take off 50 stitches. So, very, very cool. And this Threadwalker Saga is by, I always forget, Fox. Where did I have it written down? Here it is. This is by Wild Fox Stitchery, and you can find her on YouTube. Check her out. It's a fun game if you like playing games and doing something different. So very, very fun. Okay. So I think I'm going to jump into purchases. I know I wasn't supposed to purchase. I still have one more outstanding, and I got that one from Garon, which is a Nashville drop. So Nashville market. So as soon as they get it, I will get it. I bought this because I don't want to miss out on it. And this is Summer Quicker by Leela Studios. I don't know when I'm going to start it. And I probably will check the DMC and then my color and do a color conversion off of the DMC colors, because I would like to have it a little bit different. And I've got so many floss over there that I need to use up. But I also picked up a big piece of fabric to stitch it on. And it's 32 count Vintage Stormy Night, which is what Saga is being stitched on by Swigart. So I thought the blue would be better. And what color do they call for? She calls for Latte Fiber on a Whim, 46 count. So this is going to be huge on my 32 count. 32 count, it's going to be 16 5/8 by 13.5. So this is going to be huge. But I'm okay. So I'll be starting this next year, since I can't start it this year because I've already got a Leela Studio project going. And that is where I am at on the purchases. I did pick up another little light for my stands, and yeah, so I'm not even going to show that. It's just a little light. Finished objects. I finally went ahead and finished up my hanging ones that I showed you before. I just needed to get some felt. So I did. I felted the backs. And here they are. Oops, quit spinning. And this was the Spooky Jack kit that you were supposed to make a pincushion with. And I decided not to do that, because I'd have to pull down my sewing machine and set it up somewhere, and stitching a straight line is not my forte. But yeah, so this, and then I got my bee project done by Blue Flower, and it's on I think it's super cool, and I also with the felt, and yeah, my ribbon is a little off, but that's okay. It's just for me. So there is my pretty bee. And I may be sticking these up behind me somewhere. I don't know. Maybe I'll move my gift thanks now, since it's way past Thanksgiving. So yay, these are my finishes. Plans for the week. I do have all my plans written out in my book. I am finishing up all of the Whip Go projects that I need to do, which are Hello Halloween, Trick or Treat. Oh yeah, I only have 2 more I have to finish, and then my Whip Go is caught up from January and February. I'm going to be doing a little acorn on Friday, because that's the day it's always scheduled, and then I'm going to be doing Once Upon a Fairy Tale for Friday. So yeah, I'll be doing that project twice this month, or twice this week. And then after that, this is how my schedule looks for next month. Yay! It's not overly scheduled, and I think it's going to work out fabulous. So every 25th is going to be Santa's Village from now on. Every 13th and 31st, or the end of the month, is going to be Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow, except for if it lands on a Friday the 13th in March. I'm going to go ahead and do little acorns so I can stay up and get the 500 stitches a week done that I need to get done to get that accomplished for December 24th. Yeah, I found some fun stickers. Thought I would start decorating with some fun stickers. So, yeah. I'm also going to be doing Jen Lee's acrostic challenge. I'm going to see how far I can get on that. And March is Endless Floss. There's a lot of S's in there. Oh, I could do Santa's 1, 2, 3, 4. I could do Santa's Village 4 times next month. Maybe I will. I don't know. But yeah. Or I can do the shelf. I could do the shelf for 2 of them and Santa for 2 of them. We'll have to play around with that. But this is the one thing I want to do. I got this off of Jen Lee's Quirks and Stitches Etsy. So she's got it on her Etsy if you want to get this printout. It's called the A through Z Letters and Layers for 2026. So, looking around, I really don't have anything else to talk to you guys about. I hope that you are all staying safe, healthy, and happy. And if you're having the weather like we are, I hope you are staying warm. And if you're new here, thank you so much for coming in and checking me out. I hope I have shown you something that you'd like to see more of in the future. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back week after week. I really do appreciate it. So I hope that whatever you craft it to your heart's content. And I will see you next week. Bye, guys.